Your Minnesota Vikings could and should be looking for the future franchise quarterback, and being at 23 in the draft could be a little bit precarious, but there's been a lot of steam. There's been a lot of Vikings champing at the bit for bringing home the pride of Marshall, Minnesota, NDSU Bison, former quarterback Trey Lance. Now, a lot of people are against it because if you're not an all-pro in your first or second year, you are a bust in the eyes of a lot of fans. It's kind of crazy, man. But the Vikings 100% should be inquiring. And Kwesi and John Lynch go way back like chiropractic, so I think Kwesi has the phone number, so the Vikings could have a clear line of communication for potentially pulling off this deal. Let's talk about Trey Lance today. Background: 22 years young, turns 23 in May, 6'4", 225, former three-star recruit from Marshall, Minnesota, who was not offered by the Gophers. Not that I'm bitter. Committed to NDSU. I took over the starting job 2019. Threw for 2,786 yards passing, 28 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Also ran for 1,100 and put up 14 touchdowns on the ground. National champion, Heisman, Walter Payton Award winner, which is like the FCS Heisman. Was only a starter for 1 year due to the Rona. But looking at his scouting report, look pretty good. This is from Lance Zierlein, NFL.com. 1 year starter who dazzled in 2019. Lance is mature for his age, but will be just 20 years old at the time of the 2021 draft. He's a rare dual threat quarterback in that he's tasked with setting his own protections and reading the full field. Kind of important. Coaches rave about his football IQ and film work. They believe he will come into the league more football savvy than most of the quarterbacks in this draft. Tape shows very average arm strength. Rude. But velocity should improve with better lower body drive. While his recognition of coverage danger is a plus, he's currently more of a yellow light quarterback who needs to find a green light, risk-taking mentality to become a playmaking talent in the NFL. Hence the 28 touchdowns, 0 goose egg D'Angelo Russell interceptions in college. An offensive coordinator willing to blend his run-pass talent with a play-action attack could get the most out of Lance, who should become a good NFL starter. So that's pretty good. And the Dolphins decided to trade. The Niners decided to trade up heaven and earth, 3 first-round picks and a third to go get Trey Lance. Now, this trade worked out pretty well for the Dolphins. So with the picks, they were able to acquire Jalen Waddle as well as trade for Tyreek Hill and Bradley Chubb. So it kind of worked out for them. And Trey Lance, I understand that after 2 seasons, people are like, oh, he's a bust. Oh, he couldn't beat out Jimmy G. Oh, blah, 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 blah. But look at the 2021 draft. Trevor Lawrence, yes, going to be a stud. Zach Wilson, clearly a bust because he has gotten an extended opportunity with the Jets, has been benched like 17,000 times for Mike White. Trey Lance hasn't gotten the time of day. Didn't really get it as a rookie. Broke his ankle game 2 of his second season. Justin Fields looks to be on track to be a star if the Bears can get out of their own way. And Mac Jones looked good as a rookie, looked garbaggio in his second year, but of course that was with Matt Patricia as the freaking offensive coordinator, as well as Joe Judge, so who can really judge there? But Trey Lance through 2 seasons, over 2 seasons, appeared in 8 games, 4 starts, 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, broke his ankle week 2 versus the Seahawks this year. So we haven't gotten a full look of what Trey Lance is going to be. And I know some Vikings fans will be out because like, oh, well, the beat writers in San Francisco and some Niners fans that I know, they say that he sucks. Okay, sure. So you're just going to completely write him off as opposed to, there's a reason why he was the number 3 overall pick. And oh, by the way, John Lynch is seen as one of the brightest GMs in the NFL. So if he trades up heaven and earth for Trey Lance, don't you think that should have just a little bit of weight, a little bit of gravitas there? And in terms of cost of acquisition, it's been speculated, Mike Silver, who's very connected in the Bay Area, that Trey Lance may cost no more than a 3rd-round pick, which would be kind of sexy. Can we make it a 2024 3rd-round pick since the Vikings are sort of bereft of picks this year? It's possible, man. That sure beats the hell out of our, hey, Daniil needs a new contract, so trade him to the Niners. Even though those results were 50-50. It's kind of crazy. But pros for Trey Lance is 22 years old, going to be 23. That's still relatively young. That's younger than a handful of the quarterbacks in this draft class, especially Hendon Hooker and Will Levis and Stetson Bennett. Was the number 3 overall pick for a reason. Like we said, he passed all the wickets. He was drafted over Justin Fields, Ohio State, for a reason. Mac Jones, Alabama, for a reason. Certainly has the potential there. It does have that high ceiling, is a mobile quarterback, which could certainly help out the Vikings offensive line. And like the scouting report says, hard-working film junkie. And that is the reputation reputation that carried over to San Francisco as well. Because of all the knocks on Trey Lance, it hasn't been about work ethic. It hasn't been about desire or want to. He just didn't get the time of day as a rookie. He broke his ankle week 2 as in his second year when he took over the starting job, and that's it. Cons, only 2 years left on his rookie deal, including the 5th-year option. Low cost to acquire. Actually, no, that would be a pro, wouldn't it? Whatever. But the Vikings are relatively low on draft picks, so if the Niners are demanding a 3rd-round pick from the 2023 draft, I don't know, man. But I certainly think that Trey Lance does have potential, and if the Vikings are going to roll with Kirk Cousins for one more season and just try and get the most out of him, and then you have Trey Lance just marinate for a year, fully learn the Kevin O'Connell offense, and then go from there, just having Trey Lance's mobility along with Justin Jefferson, along with TJ Hockenson, woo, baby. Plus Darrisaw become one of the best left tackles in the game. Let's go. Let's go, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. Why the Vikings should be interested in Trey Lance. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.